Hello again and welcome to DanWhiteBooks, the book review channel where we add insight into the worlds of literature, both for those who do read and those who don't. Today's book is a first on this channel, that being an anti-war book, although one with a spice of science fiction. It is indeed a classic and is highly regarded in the fictional category, however it's not quite as fictional as you may think. Welcome again to DanWhiteBooks, and today I'll be reviewing Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. Slaughterhouse-Five tells the tale of Billy Pilgrim and his trek through life, a life of all manner of things taking place, most happening simultaneously and rather sporadically. You might ask what the hell that all means, and hopefully by the end of this review I'll have cleared that up for you, but let's start by saying that Billy can go from one point to another within his own timeline, no matter the time nor the place. Much in this theme, the narrative of this book darts between places and key events throughout Billy's life and follows a non-linear narrative. One minute you're walking with Billy behind enemy lines in Germany, and the next you're on his honeymoon spending time with his wife. Billy is stuck between worlds, with one event outcasting the other. The book at any point details Billy's journey through time, which in the notion of this book is a fixed event and set far before we were even born. If this is sounding, to quote Marty McFly, a little heavy, then fear not. The main focus of this book, although it does dart around the place, is on the real and non-fictional firebombing of the German city Dresden at the near end of World War II. And although there is a lot happening, this book is easy to read and in parts rather humorous. However, much like some of the better comedic pieces of our time, the switch from funny to serious is sudden and very effective. Billy Pilgrim is a complex character that just sort of accepts things the way they are. He knows his fate, and this does not bother him, and so he bumbles through life in a rather apathetic manner, and although he is bespoke with tragedy, it does not surround and suffocate him. The humour comes in small steps but works to be effective and draws loosely from Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. It's a deadpan form of humour that speaks of Billy's experiences with different people throughout his life and the strange scenarios he finds himself in. Throughout the book, the mention of the firebombing in Dresden becomes more prevalent, and it is clear that the mass loss of life, a figure disputed to this day and with some estimates higher than that of the Hiroshima bombing, is something, although inevitable by the philosophy of this work, still far from right and unfairly cruel. This book is certainly not an easy piece to review, although I seem to say that far too much these days. It's a hard work because it's not your average book, and although humorous, it features a powerful message about war. It doesn't really take itself seriously, but then again at the same time it does. And that is a hell of a contrast and a statement that may not make sense. It's very strange but quite powerful, and after finishing it, it was hard to forget. More so in the time that had elapsed between then and now. I found myself thinking over this work a lot. It is open-ended in some senses, and the story could be linked less to sci-fi and the mysterious and more to the realities of a life post-war and on the resulting mental trauma and stress soldiers face after harsh experiences and conditions. Billy is often taken back to points of memory, and the book jumps between old and young, where Billy must relive the atrocities he has seen in his past. And this is all justified as inevitable, but tragic just the same. It's as if the tragedy is subverted by the humour, and the justification for the inhumane scenes is that things must be this way, because they were always meant to be, and that that's okay, but deep down you know, despite all the reasoning and logic to support, it's all wrong, and there should be no excuse for the horrors brought by us, the horrors brought by man. My rating for this book has since changed from my first typing of the review. What started lower has increased because the more I think about this one, the more I like it. Much like a song, you start hating, but the more you hear it, the more you like it, and then suddenly you're playing it yourself. It's grown on me, this book. I can't lie, it's chaotic, it's sad, it's funny, and it's powerful. So 82 out of 100 I would rate this. Worth your time, and certainly worth your understanding. My friends, thank you again for watching. A very interesting read, this book. It does dart all over the place. It sounds a little bit crazy when I'm trying to describe it, but nonetheless, it comes together and works. It sort of clicks like two puzzle pieces coming together, although incredibly strange puzzle pieces. They kind of fit together and slot in to make something quite brilliant, to be honest. I didn't review this book as high as I as I did in this review when I first wrote it. It was in sort of around 70, but it's certainly pushed through that because I just can't stop thinking about it. It's a very powerful book. It's got all sorts going on, and it's just a thinker. It's crazy. It was hard for me to even write this review because there's a lot of thoughts in my head about it. I've not even been able to get on page. It just makes you go away, stop and think. The whole idea of fixed time, the whole philosophy and moral implications behind that are certainly something to be considered. Or maybe perhaps the book wasn't as it appears, and it's all maybe a metaphor for PTSD and stress disorder for experiences faced in war. I thank you very much for watching. I am already writing the next review, which is going to be on Stephen King's Firestarter. That'll be exciting. First Stephen King book I've written in a while. If you'd like to see more book reviews, please check out my other videos on this channel. I've been Dan White. This is DanWhiteBooks, and I thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.